Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brendan.
I am Lena.
And I'm Will.
And today we are going to be, we just got a little things to talk about. Just a couple things to talk about. We are going to be talking about, once again, our EP, Simon Bennett, because Simon Bennett be coming through with the gems, and he be coming through with the tea, you know what I'm saying? Like, he be coming through with the heat, and he just be gathering folks, and it'd be funny. So we gotta talk about it. Like, we gotta talk about it because that's what we do here. It's what we do. And we also are going to be talking about a little piece of Dino Fury episodes. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking about Dino Fury episodes 16 and 17. 16 and 17, right?
Yeah, so basically the both with the Gold Ranger, the one where Ion ends up coming, and then we find out there's a little rival between Ion and Zeke. And then the second one is trying to be a superstar.
Yes. So basically we've entered the Gold Ranger little piece of story arc.
Right.
Introducing the Gold Ranger. So that's what we're gonna be talking about.
And for those of you who keeps asking when the Gold Ranger is entering, they just did.
Okay. But I mean, I feel like by this point though, like, unless you know what I'm saying, don't have Netflix, like, you should have already seen it by now. Right. But if you haven't, because I don't think that Nick has gotten to these episodes yet. So, like, if you have not seen these episodes and you are watching them on TV but not on Netflix, you probably want to avoid this episode because we're going to be spoiling. We are not about to be sitting here and giving no spoiler-free episode, because that's not what we do. We're not doing that here. Sorry. I do apologize if you're waiting on a little piece of TV. If you're waiting for it on TV, I am so sorry. We about to be spoiling up in here, okay? So yeah. If you haven't seen it, then go ahead and just, I guess, listen to the first part of the episode, and then once you see it, come back and listen to us again. But, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. But before we do, just as a reminder, I do want to let everybody know that we are on Google Podcasts, we are on Apple Podcasts, we are on SoundCloud, we're on YouTube. We are everywhere where you will listen to podcasts. So at any point in time, if you feel like, I want to switch it up. Maybe I want to listen on Apple. Maybe I want to listen on Google. Maybe I want to go to a little piece of SoundCloud. Or maybe I want to go anywhere else. Listen, we are everywhere. So if you just put in the link tr.ee/Tribunal of the Grid, all of our links are there. And you could literally just emo, pick one, and we will be there. And you can listen to your heart's content, and also listen to our interviews. We do fantastic interviews. We've talked about different Rangers, different scenarios in Power Rangers. Oh my God, we talked about pretty much everything. Like, and we're also approaching our 100th episode very soon. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have been providing the content for the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have been really doing it. So if you really want to listen, or if you know people who are like, you know what, this person is going to like this, tell them about it. Tell a friend. Tell them. And I promise you, they won't be disappointed. Because if you like it, I'm pretty sure you'll talk about us in glowing terms, and you'll make them like it too. How about that? Hallelujah. So, do any of y'all have any words of encouragement to the people, maybe to get them riled up, being like, you know what? Yes, go listen to us.
I mean, I think we're pretty awesome. So I just feel like if you're not listening to us, you're kind of missing out. Like, we make you laugh. we say stupid shit. Like, I don't know. Like, why not be here and allow us to make you smile any day of the week.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
if you
and also, sorry, real quick. And also you can laugh either at us or with us. Either way, we're here for it.
yeah, if you have a job that you can listen to, have your earphones in, you need to pass the time, we definitely are a good way of doing that on your travels. Just we love to make you laugh, we love to make you smile, love to give you some info you might not have known about. And yeah, definitely let as many people as you can know. We love doing this. This is so much fun.
See,
really do.
see, and that is the thing. That is the thing. We love doing this because it's fun. It's fun. It's what we love to do, and we love talking to you, and we love talking about this stuff. So, if you, like I said, if you know somebody that, is genuinely looking for like a new podcast or just looking for because I mean, let's be frank. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest about it. There are plenty of Power Ranger podcasts out there. There are. But guess what? You're listening to us. You're listening to us. And there's a reason why you're listening to us, right? Like, there's a reason. So it's like, literally, if you tell that reason to your friends, they'll be like, you know what? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And just invite them into the fold. Invite them into the fold. Because we listen, we have plenty of, what was that day that we got like 2 people back to back, like 2 people mentioning us being like, oh my God, yes, like Tribunal of the Grid is the new hotness. Like,
I don't remember.
They on point.
I remember it was for
you shared it.
I know it was for Violet Ranger. I think she asked what other Ranger podcasts are out there, and everyone kept recommending us to her. That I remember. That was really cool.
On my Twitter, I had quote retweeted that we had a new episode, and I got 2 responses talking about they were excited to listen to it. That was a big old surprise.
Oh, okay. No, because there was 2 people. It was one of them. One of them was like Toku. Oh my God, I feel so bad that I don't remember these handles. But it was like Toku something, and they were like,
I think it's like Toku fan fiction or Toku fiction.
Yeah, Toku fiction. Yeah, I think it was Toku fiction. They said something. They were like, oh my gosh, like they really enjoyed the episode. And then there was another person who also on the same day, like maybe a couple minutes later, did the same thing. Like they tagged us and was like, I found a brand new podcast, Tribunal of the Grid, and I really like them a lot.
Yes.
So I'm like,
I know what you're talking about now. Yes. That was like,
yes,
you were gassing us up. Like, thank
you. When I tell you, I felt like, oh, I'm like, oh, look at us, like,
right?
Yeah, like you're gonna go. You better be happy to listen to us. I love it. So that's why I'm just like, I love seeing stuff like that. And my thing is, it's like, the more y'all be like, be ready to be like, yeah. Like I found a new one that I really like, and blah blah blah. Tell other people about it and be like, yes, like, and then you'll invite others. And then all of a sudden we will be like, like we'll be in like with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, So like I said, continue to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and we will greatly appreciate it. And especially if you like to actually like tell us this stuff and it's like, oh my God, like this is what we're doing. We'll be more than glad to actually like read your stuff on the show, like, or like read your comments, like, or talk about you, because we love it. Like, we really appreciate it. So once again, we are on all these places, on all these platforms. Definitely look us up and definitely listen. Thank you. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the first subject of the day, which is so now. I mainly saw this originally on Ranger Board. That was where I first saw it. So, because I don't know whether the people are still on Ranger Board. I mean, Ranger Board is still alive and well, if y'all don't know. Like, it is still alive and well. Now, it may not be the way it was back in 2006, 2007. You know what I'm saying? When it was popping. Like, Ranger Board used to be the ish back in the day. So it may not be like that, but it was cute. Like, I mean, Ranger Board is still giving. It's still cute. We still having fun. So basically what had happened was someone on Ranger Board basically went ahead and they posted a whole list of rumors, honey. Rumors on what season 2 of Dino Fury is going to entail. Now, of course, you know, rumors normally should be taken with a grain of salt. I mean, it is what it is. Like, they're rumors, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, some people believe them for the most part. And some people don't. Like me, I don't. But I don't believe them until I actually see it for myself. But yeah, like apparently the rumors came out on Reddit because that's where all rumors come out. And someone shared them on Ranger Board. So what happened was the Illuminati decided to go ahead and write a whole article about it, Henny. So I'm just going to read just a couple of excerpts on it because they mentioned some of the rumors there. So basically, according to the Illuminati article, now I'm just reading it straight from the article, okay? And so everything I'm going to be reading has air quotes. So it says, let's see here. Where was I at? Yes, okay, that's where we are. So it said the leak gives more details on Lord Zed's return and how he will become the main villain of the second season. According to the leak, Lord Zed will invade Grid Battle Force to retrieve his staff and fully regain his powers. He will then return to the moon base, which has been vacant since the show's fourth season, Power Rangers Zeo, in 1996. General Shaw from Power Rangers Beast Morphers will return in this season to brief the Dino Fury Rangers on a plan likely related to Lord Zed's invasion of Grid Battle Force. Now, also, but let me go ahead and read this and then I'll go back to it. It says, Lord Zed will also recreate the Dark Rangers, who will have recolored versions of the regular Dino Fury suits. He will also rebuild Serpentera as Neo Serpentera near the end of the season. Serpentera was destroyed all the way back on the 10th season of the show Power Rangers Wild Force. Now, first of all, thoughts. What do y'all think on that? Because I have my own opinion, but I just want to know what y'all think.
That's a lot. That sounds really exciting, but I hope some of it isn't true just because I just got spoiled on everything.
Right.
Fun, though.
I'm like you. I'm choosing not to believe it because I just feel like if that's the case, then what's the sense? And I don't think Hasbro is like that. I don't think like they're dumb enough to have something like that huge leak, because I do feel like they are really building up this franchise and it's heading in a good direction, you know. So right. Plus, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say this once and once more. Nimmo Nerdy has always gotten shit wrong. Y'all know how I feel about the site or these people. You know, I don't understand why they feel the need to start shit for no reason. And I just think that I'm surprised that they haven't been canceled for all the wrong shit they've already put out there in the world. So what's my thoughts on
that? Listen. So, okay. I'm with both of y'all on this one. My thing is, more so Lena. Definitely. Here's where I stand with it, because I'm gonna piggyback off of Lena. for one, no tea, no shade, but they're not going to let something like that leak. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like, first of all, we are talking about major plot points, like major plot points. Like Lord Zed going back to the moon base and resurrecting Serpentera that was destroyed back on Wild Force. Like, you just don't, you don't just let stuff like that leak. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not something that is like, oh yeah, you know, this is something to expect. Like, hell, Simon Bennett, when he released that little piece of thing with Santora awakening in the tube, right? Him, you know, giving us that teaser. It almost kind of felt like he was kind of like, yeah, you know, we're going to try to appease y'all as much as possible, but I am not trying to give jack shit away on this show. Like, it was just like, I want everyone to be surprised with what we're trying to do. My thing is, that's what I feel like it's given. And not only that, but when you really honestly think about it, a lot of these things are already, these quote unquote rumors. These rumors are literally just like assumptions that are already being led by what the show has already given us, right? Because we already know, based on what we already know, General Shaw, aka Commander Shaw from Beast Morphers, she's going to be General in this season. She's already been announced that she was going to be there. Like, it was already, you know, revealed that she's coming back. So obviously, that's not a rumor. Like, that's not a rumor. This is something we know. We know she's coming back. That's not anything to gag anybody. Like, oh my God, she's coming back. Like, we know this. Plus, we already saw Zed's staff in Beast Morphers. So we know if Zed just got resurrected and doesn't have his staff, guess who has it? He's going to find it in Grid Battle Force. So we know that this is something that is like linking together. We know this is going to happen. This isn't something that's like, oh my God. It's just like, oh my goodness, he's going to be the next. No, like we know this is going to happen. Now, as far as him becoming like the new big bad and all that, it's like, first of all, chill out. Like, I mean, we don't know if the show is going to follow the Sentai purely as far as like linking the characters together, as far as from the Sentai to Power Rangers Dino Fury. We don't know what they're going to do. But if you really honestly think about it, that's a lot. That is a lot. And for them to also be like, they're gonna like resurrect the new Dark Rangers and like do like brand new different like darker versions of the suits and all this stuff. It's like, that sounds nice. It does. But also, like it just kind of feels like a lot of this stuff is fan fiction. A lot of it sounds very fan fiction, especially that whole part about quote unquote resurrecting Serpentera. That sounds like straight out of somebody's fan fiction. And don't get me wrong, would I love to see this? Absolutely. Like, Serpentera was a whole badass. So yes, like, even though he's done absolutely really nothing except for destroy a planet, which almost destroyed the Rangers on it, but still, like, we didn't really see Serpentera really do anything, but that's also partly due to like, we really didn't see him do much other than the fact that, you know, in the Japanese version, like, it was like a whole different thing. Like, it was actually like a god in the Japanese version. So, like, really, in actuality, like, it really didn't do much anyway. But, you know, Serpentera was just supposed to be this really strong Zord. So I would love to see them do something with Serpentera and be like, yeah, Serpentera is actually going to be, you know, this new badass figure, just like Lord Zed. But at the same time, it's like, I don't believe it. Like, you know, I don't know. Like, it just sounds way too fan fiction for me. Like, it just sounds like what they did was they just took clues from the show and just developed these like thoughts of like, this is what could possibly happen, kind of a thing. And I'm like, sounds well and good, but that doesn't mean any of that stuff is going to happen. They also go on to say that also, according to the leak, it is revealed that the Green Morphin Master is the keeper of the Prime Universe, and the other Morphin Masters are being kept in Zordon-like tubes by Zed. That sounds all well and good. But it's like, so we just gonna just all of a sudden just flip the story like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't foresee this. Like, I would hope that, you know, that Dino Fury really do kick it up a notch, but I don't know. Like, once again, this just sounds very fan fiction-y. It really does. But also, you know, let's also think about this for a second as well. What if this is right? What if this is true? And he's just like really like on some, you know what? I'm just going to try to bait and switch the people. Because someone really did actually leak the whole second season. Because that would be a gag if like the actual second season really was leaked for real. And this is stuff that was actually supposed to happen. But I don't believe that it would. Because to be truthfully honest, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot for this second season. This is a lot.
Well, those tidbits, they're kind of like specific. So that like those are kind of they're really random and they're really specific. So like, how'd you come up with that? I wonder where this came from.
Right. Same here. Like, I'm wondering, was this like somebody who, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who just like they worked on the show, or did they get like because like my thing is, it's like, did it come out like on a TV guide or something like that? Because, you know, like the TV guides do come out in other countries, but they don't come out until like a couple weeks before the show actually premieres in the other countries. So I highly doubt that they would have gotten that information from that. I don't really, unless there was somebody who worked on the show, but I mean, that's kind of crazy that somebody on the show would be like, hey, I'm just going to leak this whole thing on Reddit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they would definitely be fired. Wouldn't they have signed an NDA?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's for damn sure. Like, they would, like they would definitely have signed something basically being like, no, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't reveal anything. So definitely, if they work for the show, you about to lose your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna lose your job, buddy. Like, it is what it is. So listen, I don't know. Like, it's giving real, like, they, you know, some of this stuff just, it's like you said, it's very specific, but also it's like, if it was leaked, that will be crazy. Also, in the article, it also goes on to say the Rangers will finally travel to Eltar in this season, which is a planet that has been heavily discussed since Mighty Morphin in 1993. The Rangers will also travel to the moon near the end of the show to take on Lord Zed. The leak also reveals a bunch of details about Void Knight. It's proposed that Void Knight will be revealed to be the Pink Ranger's father. Also, it says that it will also show how Void Knight got the armor. And Zato recognized the armor when he met Void Knight in the first episode, so it will be further explained. Also, let's see. They also go on to say that Santoro will have a monster form at some point in the season, which we kind of already know. So yeah, like there's some very interesting bits in there that I'm like, some of this stuff, like the whole part with like the whole part with, you know, like Santora getting the monster form. Based on that clip that we saw, we obviously know that she's an alien. Like, obviously, she's going to have a monster form. Because when Sis opened up her eyes, like, her eyes was white, and the only thing that had color was her pupils. Like, like Sis' eyes were white. So it's obvious that Sis is an alien. Like, we know she's going to be some kind of monster. So some of these, I just feel like some of these rumors just are just educated guesses. You know, and then some of the other ones just sound like lofty ambitions. But if we actually do get these things and Lord Zed actually do be the final big boss of the show, I ain't gonna hold you. That would actually be badass. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, based off of these quote unquote rumors of the show, if Dino Fury really was to pull this stuff off, or even pull half this stuff off, I think Dino Fury would have probably the makings of being probably one of the best seasons of the newer franchise. It would probably be one of the best ones. It would definitely like crap all over Neo Saban, like for sure. Like it would take a huge dump on Neo Saban. Like, I mean, by far. Honestly, to be truthfully honest with you, I would even put it up with like your seasons, like your Disney era, like your Disney and some of your Saban, if they pull it off right. Because if they really do it, like Dino Fury has the making of being like one of your top tier seasons. So that's my opinion on it. Like, what do you guys think?
I would have to agree with that. These are some really cool ideas if they're true. Very, very exciting ideas, like to kind of do a do-over with bringing back a legacy character like Lord Zed and giving him like a full-on run as a big bad. Because I feel like Void Knight right now isn't really doing a lot.
No, he's
not.
Because he's concentrated on trying to get his like girl back to life.
Right. And even then, I feel like we don't really see him that much. So so I think that would be cool. Hopefully they will use him more, if that is real, Lord Zed. And then the idea of them doing a do-over with the Dark Rangers, which I always talk about how that was a huge missed opportunity. That'd be really cool. And then Serpentera possibly coming back, that would be really cool. So these are some really nice ideas. It would be really cool to see some of these things happen.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Like it really does feel like I said before, if they were to actually do this stuff, like it would be really freaking cool. It would be like, okay, so you know, there were so many missed opportunities because they didn't have the budget back. Well, I mean, they kind of did have the budget, but you know, also look at who we were dealing with. But it was like, if they were to go ahead and, you know, give us an actual battle with Serpentera, like actually give us a real fight with him, not give us that mess that we got in Wild Force with had Cole riding his little motorcycle through Serpentera, you know what I'm saying, running through Serpentera like a Tomb Raider. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, like we ain't doing that. But that was terrible. Like it was terrible. You had
yes.
For real, like you had this whole bomb ass fight scene with some of the best choreography that we've had in Power Rangers, period. And then all of a sudden, this is what we end on. Now, I understand behind the scenes, obviously they ran over budget, but it's like, damn, this is what we end on. Like,
and Serpentera shrunk because, you know, Serpentera was like the Thunderzords were literally like the size of a fly. Maybe not that small, but he could step on them.
Yeah.
Like that was a huge Zord, and then you have it like regular Zord sized.
Right.
And with his
and Cole
toy
just
bike.
ran right through him. Just
Like,
really, is this who we are? Like, come on now. So yeah, like I get it. You know what I'm saying? We would love to actually have seen like a real battle with Serpentera. Like that is something that I'm like, yes, we would love to have that. And a lot of these events that they mentioned has been foreshadowed by the show. So it wouldn't be surprising if some of these things actually do happen. And what if they do actually make Lord Zed the actual, like this version of Lord Zed, like the real big bad of this season? Like that's a game changer. That is a game changer. Like that's like, and honestly, in a way, like I ain't even gonna hold you. That actually would be better than how they treated him in the original show. And I know some people gonna have a problem with me saying that. I know some people gonna have a problem with that opinion. But when Lord Zed was first introduced, when we talk about this all the time, soccer moms ruined Power Rangers. Like they really did. They ruined Power Rangers. Because think about it, like season 2, Lord Zed was not somebody to be played with. He was feared. And to have him walk around with that kind of big dick energy just to be punked out by Rita after he got put on by a little piece of spell and they made him into this comic relief BS character. It's like, come on, man. Lord Zed was walking around just meat swinging everywhere like I run this shit. And now all of a sudden he turned into a little puppy when it comes to Rita. Like, come on. So, I mean, I can understand them being like, let's do a redo. Let's do a do-over. Let's do a do-over. Like, let's actually show Lord Zed
and
actually being a real badass.
And you know what's funny? I just realized something. She put a spell on him, right? So wouldn't have that meant that like after like Zordon died to, save basically all is good in the world and he turned human, wouldn't he like not like her?
Because it would have took away the spell?
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Isn't it speculated that they're not together anymore?
No, they have a whole ass child.
Well, yeah, but remember, the last time we saw Rita, she was the Mystic Mother, and she was by herself.
That's
and then we
real.
saw their son. We saw their son the next season. So it's possible. Obviously, they already had the son, and they could still not be together.
Right.
That's true.
That's true. But I'm talking about that particular scene in time, because Mystic Force is like many, many years later, right? But it was just that initial like, oh, you, voo la la, come here. I'm like, did he like not like her? Like, I'm so confused.
No,
I mean,
real.
I guess
I
there's no
agree.
hate in his heart since he, was changed to, I guess the evil was purged from him or from both of them. I don't know.
I mean, the evil purged, but that doesn't mean that like you like the love, whatever that meant, was still there.
Or you know what? And saying that, like that could go with my point of they might not have even been together later on.
This is true.
I mean, no, I mean, you're right? You're right. But it's just, I guess it's just that like what we saw was that they left together. Whether or not they end up together, that's not our business afterwards. Okay. I'm just saying the fact that he still latched towards her or like, was somewhat attracted towards her was like, oh, wouldn't you?
But I mean, also.
Like, oh, I mean, I get that also, like they just turned good and all the great stuff, but it's interesting, that Rita made him fall in love with her. He never found her attractive or thought anything much more until the spell came along. So when the spell was broken, you just figured it wouldn't be so much of like, oh, my love, but more so of like, oh, we survive. Like that, like that friends, like we survive. Like, that's great. I guess we can be friends now kind of attitude, right? Versus the way they left off, it seemed like they were going to start a whole new life together.
Right.
Whether or not they end up together, obviously in the long run, not the point I'm trying to make here.
No, I understand what you're trying to say. And it's funny though, because like you said, it was like the way it kind of ended off. He was like, "You wanna dance?" Right? And she was just like, "Oh,"
right?
And she just was like, and they went on and they went dancing into the sunset. First of all, I'm like, y'all are whole ass humans. How are y'all on this alien planet breathing on this planet? Like that just doesn't make sense to me. But
acting like everybody else ain't breathing on the moon.
I mean, but listen, like we all know that Power Rangers, like we had a little girl literally on Power Rangers in space with no type of helmet whatsoever, flying on Carlos's Galaxy Glider in space to go get a moon rock. Like, let's be for real. Like, mugs be breathing in space all the time. But I just found it funny that you got like them turned into humans and they're on a whole ass alien planet. Like, just being like, yeah, we just about to go ahead and salsa into the sunset. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just found that very funny. But no, like, Lena, I do understand your point. Like, it is very interesting that they were literally turned human. And it's like, okay, so, like, it is kind of strange that he was put under a spell while he was evil. So when when Zordon, purified everybody, the spell should have been taken away too. You're exactly right. I agree 100%. It should have been taken away. Right. And he, like, I could see if it was a situation, I know they didn't have time for it, but I could see if it was a situation where he turned and he looked at Rita and was like, oh, like you actually kind of, you kind of cute. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, you and that too.
But see, that only takes like 2 seconds. So that was not a long, because like the fact that he was all like, you want to dance, that was already long, like 5.5 seconds or whatever. So he could have easily said, oh, hello there. And she's like, right, hello there.
Right, and they could have been like walked them like, well, let me holler at you for a second. Like, what you doing later? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have loved that.
Me too. See, then I would have like, okay, yeah, I can agree with that ending. But the fact that they already recognize each other in the sense of like, oh yeah. So that now that we're talking about the spell, it just kind of made me wonder about that.
No, that's real. I can see what you're saying. Like, I agree with that. It was kind of like, that's kind of weird that this is what's happening. Because like you said, like it would have been more interesting if they would have just been like, if you would have like seen her for the first time and been like, now that he's not under the spell anymore, realizing like, oh, like, and not to mention, Carla Perez is bad. Like, let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Like, sis was bad. Like, when she turned around and she pulled her hair out her face, like, like, look at me, like, I'm like, yes, get your moment, sis. Get your moment, because you bad. Get your moment. So, I mean, I'm here for it. I am here for it. Like, I do think they should have done that, Lena. I agree. They should have recognized the fact that he was under a spell. But also, too, this is Power Rangers. They be forgetting shit all the time. Like, they be forgetting everything. Like, it's like, this happened. Oh, yeah, you're right. Let's go ahead and revisit this like 20 years later because we totally forgot about it. Like, because I mean, let's be honest. The Morphin Masters were mentioned once. Then the comics talked about them, and now all of a sudden they're a whole focal point for a whole season now. Like, come on. Like, they were like, oh, yeah, we totally forgot about them, but yeah, we're going to try to wrap this shit up. We're going to try to, get everything back, But yeah, no, like, I really do think that Lord Zed, if this was to be for real, this would be the perfect opportunity to really give Lord Zed the flowers that he deserves. And also, too, if you really want to really get deep and philosophical with it, it'll also give our beloved Axelrod, what's his first name? Jesus, I forgot. Robert. I was right, Robert Axelrod. Like, that would basically give him his flowers for what he's done for the franchise. Like, I mean, let's just be for real. Nobody knew that Robert Axelrod was Finster. Like, I mean, like many people really didn't know that he was Finster, and for him to, like, we mainly know Robert Axelrod as Lord Zed. Like that was when he really was like the man. You know what I'm saying? So for us to like really like, you know, for them to really go back and be like, we're gonna make him like the main villain for real, I think that's pretty freaking cool. I really would think that would be a beautiful way to give a good tribute to Robert Axelrod and his talents that he's done for the show. So I would hope that there would be some sort of semblance of something like this happening in the show, just out of just respect's sake for him. Like I would hope they would give Lord Zed some pretty badass stuff to do in this show. Like I would hope. But with all this being said, Simon Bennett had a little response to the team of Illuminati. He had a little response. He said, "Not spoilers or leaks. Period." And I gagged. I was like, "Ooh, well, we can go ahead and put a pin in that. That is not going to happen." Because he was like, no, you are actually quite wrong. That is not going to happen. And honestly, what I really do feel like is going to happen, and I unfortunately hope, well, I'm not going to say this. I hope that whatever we get is satisfying. But what I really feel like is going to honestly happen is the same thing that happened back in Beast Morphers when they gave us a little piece of Goldar Maximus. They brought that mug back, had him being a little badass for like 2.5 seconds just to get killed in a very stupid way. That's kind of what I feel like is going to happen. The Lord's just saying, like, I just feel like he's not going to get the grandiose thing of like being the final bad guy, you know, of the season. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't, even though they did recreate the costume, which I'm like, they would want to get their money's worth, right? So there's a lot of conflicting ideas, but if Simon Bennett says that this ain't gonna happen, then, you know, or maybe some of the things may happen.
Honestly, I'm more inclined to believe him that when he said none of it happened, I want to say none of it happened. Because then why would he go out of his way to basically make that comment when he's been pretty honest and truth to a lot of the stuff that's been going on?
Well, also too, like let's also be honest. He don't want to lose his job. Like he doesn't want to like confirm or deny. But he did outright just be like, "You're right." He did just be like, "Nah, yeah,
right."
No,
like he was like,
isn't happening."
So yeah. I don't know. Like that's a straight up. Because if he was gonna be like in between about it, it would have been somewhere along the lines of like, continue watching and you will see, or like, I guess we'll have to wait till the new episodes gets released. You know, like something along those lines that kind of feeds into the whole. Maybe not, but
right,
find out. But he was just like, nah, good night,
right,
thank you, don't come again.
Okay, like that's really what it was given. He was like, yeah, no, it's not happening, sorry, but you know, I hope you guys enjoy the show. I hope you guys enjoy what we get. But
I was cry laughing. I'm like, okay. I don't think it's happening. I feel that we know for a fact that Lord Zed is gonna come back. There is no way that he's not coming back, considering the fact that he did teleport out of nowhere, like somewhere, you know, and we don't know where he's even gone. We don't even know. You know what I mean? Like what he's probably thinking. Because the other thing is too, is that at the end of the day, he's literally in 2021, a world where he no longer recognizes.
Right.
In a world where he doesn't even have an army or like a place or like anything. Or maybe he did teleport back to where he used to live, but it's like dust. Or is a mall there, like, or something, you know? Like,
not a mall. Don't do this.
You never know. It could be a whole ass mall with Macy's.
Not a mall.
With Macy's. Oh, with the giant Macy's.
Oh my God. Don't do this.
You know how they always do the Power Rangers float for the
Oh my gosh. You must be stopped. You must be stopped right now. Nah, he got a Macy's. Yep. No.
Yep. He's got a Macy's.
I wonder how this changes the timeline. Since
in what way?
Zed isn't in. I wonder what year he was plucked from.
Apparently, he had to have been plucked from like season 2 before Rita came.
Yeah,
he had to have been plucked from there. Yeah, because he knew who the Power Rangers were.
Oh yeah,
he knew who they were, and also like they said that they plucked him from the time when he was like at his worst.
Yes.
So that was like right before Rita came and
put a spell on him.
Put a spell on him.
I mean, she's true to her witchery craft stuff.
So I wonder if this is if that is the case. So in 1994, are the Rangers just without a big bad now?
No.
Or not? Or then?
I think honestly, this is just like another version of him.
Exactly. That's what I was just
like that. They plucked the version of him from that era, but they didn't take him from that era. It's just like a version of him was plucked from that era.
That's what I'm thinking too, you know? And
yeah.
I don't know. I just think overall, like, we know for sure he's coming back. We just don't know in what shape or form, you know? And Vor Knight, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's, you know, the whole Mystic Force all over again, where he does become, you know, good again. I think personally, he's evil in a sense that, like, I don't think he actually cares to destroy the Power Rangers. I think he just wants bored.
Right.
He doesn't care about anything else. So it's like, so really, we already know that he doesn't care about the Power Rangers like that. He just wants the Sporax. So ultimately, when you really think about it, then I can see him being good again once his mission is completed, which is waking up his alien girlfriend.
Right. No, yeah, I agree. Because what I really honestly feel like is going to end up happening, so I'm like, oh yeah, I want to resurrect you. I miss you so much. And then when she actually does come back, she going to be on some psycho bull where she's just like, you know what? I'm trying to kill everybody. And if you ain't in it with me, you going to get some too, kind of a situation. And he going to be like, damn, like this hell for crazy. And then she going to be like, yeah, I'm crazy as shit, my guy. And he going to be like, oh damn, like I can't deal with this no more. I got to leave you. And then that's when he going to defect to the Rangers. That's what I feel like is going to end up happening to me. I feel like that's going to end up happening because also too, and remember, I also kind of feel like, and there are some there. That's why I said some of these rumors do have some truth to it because I can see, like high key, I can see the Pink Ranger being related to Void Knight. I can see it. I can see that being.
I feel like somebody said that months ago.
Yeah, did we talked about this like months ago on our show?
I probably did, or maybe it was me. I don't know. I don't remember.
Either that or I saw it on Twitter somewhere.
I know. Jer from No Pink Spandex. I know that is like one of his main things. Like he is just like Jer is constantly saying that Void Knight is Amelia's dad. Like he swears up and down that is him. Because her parents did leave, that like did mysteriously vanish, you know. So he swears that is her father. I
think you said the same thing actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised, but also too, like it would be a big surprise, but it does kind of seem like they are inching towards that because of the fact that, like I said, her parents are missing. And also, like, you got this human, because it's obvious Void Knight is a human. Like, he is definitely human. A human with great hair and guy liner, but he is a human. Like, he's not an alien. Like, he is definitely a human. So it would ring some truth that maybe that is his daughter. And it would kind of make sense that if all of a sudden Santura end up becoming a whole threat, you know what I'm saying? Like she ends up going batshit and stuff. He be like, and she finds out that that's her dad. He's like, you know what? baby, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. You know, like, listen, I know I gave you hell for like a whole year. You know, please forgive me. I'm not like Tyler's dad that, you know, just all of a sudden just up and left, you know what I'm saying? And didn't never write back or didn't never even leave so much of a phone call or send a message in any way, shape, or form. I'm not trash like that, but I did, because I had a reason why I left. But at the same time, another woman wasn't a reason. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm trash, but please, can you please accept me back into your life? And of course, this is Power Rangers, and you know, Amelia's gonna be like, of course, I missed you so much. I've always wanted to know what happened to my dad. And he's like, yes, come here. I love you. And then they're gonna get together, and then they're gonna defeat Centaur. I know that is a terrible way of me explaining that, but I kind of feel like that's probably on the lines of what's gonna happen. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, as of right now, based on what we've seen thus far with some of the preview clips of season 2, I'm excited. Like, regardless of what happens, I'm excited for it because that Dino Fury cycle looks bomb. Like, I freaking love it. And also that little clip with Centaur giving us bodies in space and then waking up in that tube, like, gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm loving it. So I'm here for it, regardless. So we're once again going to be talking about Little Piece of Dino Fury episodes 16 and 17. So first of all, overall thoughts on both. Like, what is it giving? Like, how did y'all feel about these episodes?
So me, Will talked before you came on, like briefly. I want to say I did not like them. I felt that they were interesting.
Okay.
They were told in such a way that made essentially Ion just look not so great, you know, not so great, not so honorable as a knight, as a ranger, as a person.
Okay.
Or an alien, I guess. Alien person. Whatever, same diff.
Right.
You know, at this point. But yes, so that's my overall thoughts. I wanted to enjoy it, but I did not.
Similar feelings. More so for me, they did so much. They did so much building in the last episode, and then to pay it off in just one episode later was strange to me. Ion and his identity being revealed that quickly, and then how he just teleported into the base, and then how easily he revealed Zato's secret, and then how I remember Amelia's reaction to finding it out. It just didn't. That was so weird because it felt like, you know, they wrote that down in the script and then they just told her to say it, and it just was like so. I don't know.
No specifics. No specifics. We'll get to it, but just
yeah. So sorry. Yeah. So my bad. But yeah, it's just the way that they told the story for this episode. It was really weird, like how quickly they just got to certain things, and one, without explanation, and two, like you're doing it too quickly. Like this could have been done in a few episodes. So I guess I guess one of the problems that I'm having and that I just gotta deal with is the fact that the storytelling isn't as tight as I would like it to be. So that was a big issue with this. Well, with both episodes actually, because the second one, it wasn't. It was a filler. It was filler, and you have a filler for this early on for a Gold Ranger focus episode. That's interesting.
Okay. Listen. I am with you. I am most certainly with you. Here's my thing. And I guess what I'll say to it for me is with the first episode, I can definitely understand the hesitation and the like with the first episode. I get it because I felt the same exact way. I mean, literally, like I was like, yeah, no.
Real quick.
Get right to it.
Real quick, when I like within the first not even minute, I'm like, did I miss something? So I had to go back and make sure I didn't miss an episode because they just got straight into it like that.
Yeah. There was a lot of things about the first one, episode 16, that made me just go like, okay, this is kind of strange. As far as like the storytelling, it was obvious that they wanted to hurry up and make him a part of the team, which I was like, I don't like that. The second one, I legit was like, I understand that he's like he's new to everything, but also like there were moments in there that definitely legit made me laugh, but it just, I was like, oh, y'all doing this to him. Oh, okay. Kind of a thing where it's just like, oh, all right. So both episodes, I understand that both of y'all, like both episodes were just kind of like, I feel like we're all on the same page. But it's going to be interesting when we actually talk about it. Like, it's going to be interesting on like, what is it given? Like what we're actually going to be feeling when we actually rate them by the very end. Because I feel like this is going to be interesting. So basically, if anybody does not know, well, I mean, obviously no, but episode 16 is basically the actual official arrival of the Gold Ranger, Ion, who, basically, reveals himself in civilian clothing, which I'm like, how the hell are you doing that? Like, where did you get these clothes from? But anyway, he reveals himself to the people.
Damn,
and there
I
is
didn't realize that.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, my guy, like, where did you get these clothes from? Who did you steal them from? But, and after he's revealed, there are secrets that were revealed along with it. So
pause a quick sec. What I don't understand is, where did he go before he went to like base? And then you're right, where did he get his clothes from? And like, I don't know. He just seems to be so up to date with Earth. So up to date. I just don't understand.
Yeah,
maybe
and
they, I don't know.
And they when he gave his kind of like a rundown of what's been going on, it was very similar to Zato, but except he was underwater. So like what happened in between you waking up and you going into battle? Like what? That was weird. But go on.
No, that was really it. I was just like, I was gonna say, let's just go ahead and get into it. Like, I mean, so this episode basically leaves off from the previous episode where he pops up and he leaves, and Zato was left scooped and gagged, like, so I owe this man money. He is now coming to collect, and he's coming to whip my ass if I don't give it to him. So like, he dipped, right? And so we pop back up at the command center and at Stonehenge, and everybody's like, they training and doing their thing, Ollie being a fat ass. And all of a sudden, here comes the Gold Ranger, like stalking the base, like, you know what I'm saying, looking crazy. And they're like, oh, our gold friend is here. He teleports in and reveals himself to be Ion. And so everybody's like, ooh, we got another Rathconian in the building. Like, what's good? And
they weren't even shocked. They weren't even shocked by it.
No,
like,
I
don't think Rathconian. Like, no, aren't we to believe that all of them are dead? Shouldn't you have been like dumbfounded, like, oh my god, like nothing like that?
I mean, he was kind of shocked that he's like, how did you survive? I thought I was the last one.
Well,
left.
No, I was more so talking about the other Rangers.
Oh, I mean, like, I don't think they really, like, I think they just forgot. They're like teenager minds, they're like, no, new Ranger, hey,
Well, I mean, Yeah.
Solon, I was surprised. I didn't understand the connection there.
I mean, for
whatever
me personally,
connection
I took it. I mean, like I took it. I took it as that. I didn't really see a problem with that per se. I can understand the Rangers kind of being like, oh, a new Ranger. Like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, he has powers like them. That's the first giveaway. Like, he's obviously a Ranger and he's obviously Ravkonian, because it's like, okay, well, antennas popping up, like he's a Ranger just like them. Zato knows him. So I can see them not being like, what? Like, I could see them having the reaction that they had. So I wasn't really gagged by that or was suspicious of that. I was okay. I will tell you the moment that I got, a little like, what the hell is going on? When he explained the story of how the sports came to be. That was when I was like, okay, now what is this? You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, first of all, you're expecting me to believe, because like, I ain't gonna even hold you. I understand. And also it does like throw away our whole idea that Ravkon is mainly Black people. Because you seen this whole white woman, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh.
I know. I saw the white woman and I was like, I don't know about this anymore.
But also too, did you also notice that it was the white woman that like caused the sporks to even be released?
Yeah, so I noticed that. I was like, of course it'd be a white woman. Of course. Like, this is why.
Like,
I mean,
all right.
Surprise. Cheer.
It's like all the so what y'all saying is that all the Knights of Ravkon are Black, and they basically send the Black people out
which is also kind of low key. Like, what is this? Like, slavery all over again? I mean, I don't like. I'm just speaking your thoughts. I'm just saying. Like that just seems so wrong. And we already know like knights are never being looked at as like, like superior or anything like that. Like we see medieval times. They're treated like shit.
They really were. Like, I mean, and like, let's also be like clear as well. We are going based off history, because if you really want to think about it, like they're in the actual war. What was that? The Revolutionary War, with like there's been so many freaking wars in this freaking country, but like when it was the Union versus the Confederacy, literally like, you had slaves who literally fought in the war and then turned right back around and had to, be, treated like crap again. So I mean, it is history. It's history. It's real life history. But I do find it funny that you had two Black people as knights, and you had this chick who was like, I'm going to release these sporks, and you got the one who's like, yeah, no, this is a terrible idea. And the other one is just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go with her because she's the commander, like she's the supreme commander. So I'm gonna just go with her. And he was wrong. He made a decision that was wrong, and he ended up releasing all those sporks. Which my thing was, it didn't make sense to me to release that many. If had it been me, I would have been like, release a few. Just release a few and see what happens. Don't release all 150 Pokemon and be like, oh, well, we're just going to see what happens. Like, no, like, that was just stupid on their part anyway. To release all of those sporks like that, come on, that was dumb. Like, to me, that was dumb, especially for the fact that they were experimental. That was stupid to me. I was like, that doesn't exist. They released all of them. Turns out that they all turned into Sporks Beast. They ended up fighting. And yeah, like they ended up losing their team. And, two of them were put in stasis pods and, fell asleep. But here's the thing. Ion came back with a grudge. Old boy ain't forgot nothing. He ain't skipped a beat. He didn't skip a beat.
I actually like that. I like that there was conflict between team members. That's why I had the problem that I had with how quickly it was resolved.
Yes. I wanted to get touch on that because I agree 100%. That was my issue too.
And then I hate the fact that like he gave in so quickly, considering the fact that he came in so strong. That he's like, no, I need to be the leader. Then he's like, oh no, how do you make this decision? It's so tough. What would you do?
Yeah, that was some bull. That was some bull. That was bull.
Like that was really dumb because regardless of your skills as a leadership, that was common fucking sense.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sense. Like either we leave the sword and we survive or we die with the sword. Like that was common sense. That did not need a whole leadership. For me,
like, oh, what do we do?
Right? For me, I would have been like, y'all, if you bitches don't want to come with me, y'all can die here. Bye.
Okay, like, because my whole thing is, I agree. I agree 100%. Like, it was not a hard call to make. To me, it wasn't a hard call. Granted, yes, he's never been a leader before, obviously. So it's like, okay, he doesn't really know what he's doing. But the thing is also, too, what I found to be very interesting about this whole situation is that they used that as a way to make him seem like he was underqualified. When that, I feel like, I felt like it was just too fast of a wrap up. Like it was just too quick of a resolution. My thing is, organically, it didn't make sense because dude, like he has a very strong argument. He has a very strong argument and a very accurate argument. I could see him being upset about this. It's like, you cost our planet, you made a decision that resulted in our planet being pretty much destroyed. Like, I mean, the sports just completely just ravaged our planet and went to Earth. And we had to follow them there. Our team had to follow them there to fight them. We lost majority of our team. Yes, I'm going to have beef with you, my guy. Like, I'm going to feel some type of way. Like, I'm going to be upset with you. And my thing is, it's like, okay, so I'm mad right now. I came in with a grudge. Ain't no way in the world I'm going to sit there and be caught in the middle of a situation. And then all of a sudden, we in battle. And then I'm like, oh no, what would you do, Zato? Like, what would you do? If anything, this is just me. I'm going to be stubborn about it. I'm going to be mad stubborn. I'm going to be like, I got this. I'm running this show. Like, we going to keep trying to battle. I feel like what would have been a much better alternative was to have Ion actually be stubborn. If they wanted to go that route, have him be stubborn. Have him be like, no, I got this. Do not tell me what to do. I got this. And then have it be a situation where they end up getting beat down. And then it's like, Zato steps in, he's trying to tell him, no, like we should abandon the Zords. We should abandon the Zords. And he's like, no, I'm not going down without a fight. Or have Zato be like, the Zords can't operate underwater. The Zords can't operate underwater. Like, we're going to lose them. And he's like, no, we're going to fight them anyway. We're going to chase them down there. And they end up chasing them down there. And it's like, oh, crap. They can't operate. Crap. What do we do? And he's like, well, we're not going down. And then it's a situation like, remember how Andros in space was like, we're not leaving the Zords. And Carlos like chopped him in the neck and pulled him to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have loved to see something like that where it's like, no, we need to get out of here. And then he realizes like, oh crap, I made a mistake. Like, we lost our Zords because of me. That is something where it's like, oh, he learned a lesson. But the way they did it, it was just like, it was just so awkward.
Awkward and quick.
Awkward and quick. Yeah, it just didn't make sense. Like organically, this whole situation, him realizing that, oh, he's not equipped to be a good leader, that it just didn't, organically, it didn't make sense. It really did not make sense. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Like, I would have definitely loved to have seen him like still carry that same energy, keep that same energy of, yeah, I'm better than you. And also, I would have loved to have seen it last a little longer than just one episode. Like, at least two. At least two. Because that's some serious shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's serious. Like, you cost a whole planet and a team. That ain't nothing to be like, oh, we gonna wrap this up in one episode. That ain't nothing to play with. Like, that's some real shit. And it's like, we just wrap that up in one episode. No. I don't buy that. I don't buy it. I don't. I don't buy it. And I'm pretty sure that before Ion, went into his stasis pod and was, asleep for all these millions of years, I'm pretty sure he still was like beefing with Zato before. So he went to sleep with this mess on his heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he woke up with just the same amount of energy. It's like, come on, you just don't diffuse something like that in one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't buy that. Like, I just don't. I don't buy that. No. I had a huge problem with this episode in that particular sense. I was like, yeah, no, this was rushed way too fast. Like, we should have had at least 2 episodes to kind of, let this simmer and sizzle for a bit, before we finally resolve it. Because I thought this was resolved way too fast. And also, can we also talk about that battle, which they made Zato look like a bumbling idiot?
The Zord battle or the actual like morph fight?
No, the morph fight where they had him like getting punked out by Mucus. Really? Mucus?
Okay. That was dumb. That was really dumb. So somebody actually, I think Mucus shot the barrel of fish oil and then it leaked on the ground, and Zato was slipping and sliding on it. So they had this whole thing where Ion, he broke a box or something or crate or something, and he not skateboarded but like boarded across to fight. Why didn't they just jump or flip over the grease spot and get to the the non-greasy part of the ground? I didn't.
Here's my thing.
That was so unnecessary.
It was very unnecessary, and it wasn't just that. It wasn't just Zato. It was Amelia and Ollie. I'm like, y'all got to be some of the stupidest people. Like, this doesn't make sense. If you just seen Zato slipping and sliding on this fish oil, you really gonna run right through it and start slipping and sliding too? Like, y'all can't be that dumb. Like, I understand y'all are like young teen, y'all like in y'all like young adults, whatever. Like, I get it, but come on, like, y'all can't be that stupid. Y'all really can't be that dumb. Like, that just didn't make sense to me. I was like, huh? And I understand that they were trying to do that just so they can give the Gold Ranger his moment of, badassery, which I'm sorry, I wasn't impressed. Maybe you guys thought that was cool. I didn't personally. I thought that scene was a bit too extra for me.
Yeah. I actually like the Zord battle, which is rare for me. I like that.
Like the Zord battle was actually better. Yeah, the Zord battle was great. I enjoyed the Zord battle myself. I thought the Zord battle was great. I did not care for that morph battle though. I was like, yeah, no, this isn't hitting like it should. Like, I was not impressed. I wasn't impressed. I was like, yeah, no. But other than that, yeah, the resolution was not handled well. I did, however, enjoy the last little scene with them battling. Now, mind you, I'm so sorry, but Zato has a whole sword. My guy, you got a dagger. Well, you better be like freaking Bernita Green from Kill Bill, the master with knives. Because I'm sorry, you got a whole night with a sword and you come in with a dagger. If you don't shoot this mug and stop playing, you got a gun. Shoot him. Like, I'm just like, what is this? Like, you can't be for real.
I mean, well,
you
that
can't
fight
be for real.
That was a play fight, though. Well, not
But
a play,
still,
a play fight, but like a sparring type.
Right. And I get that. I hear that. No, but come on. Like, we all know who would have won that. We know who would have won that. It would have definitely been Zato. I think it would have been Zato for sure.
Oh, the moral of the story: a true leader knows when to step down. Oh, please.
That was dumb.
They could have done better.
It could have been handled a lot better than what, because there was a way that they could have still had this moral, and it still could have aligned with the story that they were trying to tell. The thing was, I feel like they didn't want Ion to come out sounding too angry. Like, have him be mad, but they didn't want him to be angry. And maybe partly because Ion is portrayed by a black man, and they didn't want, him to be an angry black man. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But I feel like with you carrying that kind of baggage and that kind of hatred, nah. Like, you just can't be on some, oh, man, this is how it is to be a leader. Oh man, that junk is tough, man. Like, yo, you can go ahead and have it, man. You can have this. I'm good. No.
Not after how mad you were.
Not okay. Keep that same energy. Like, there is no way in the world that you can sit here and make me believe that you came out with the whole energy of, like, put your hands up. Like, he literally came out the box on Zato, like, put your hands up. Put your hands up, because I'm ready to fight. I ain't ready to fight you right now. You resolve this? Oh, man, you know what? Yeah, man, you're right, man. Like, I can see how you had a tough decision with that. I can see that. No. I'm like, I really feel like I said, they definitely should have just went ahead and just been like, had him just like make terrible decisions and be just mad rash. Everybody telling him, nah, dude, like, we can't do this like that. We can't do this. Like, you're not thinking. And he's like, nah, bump y'all. Like, I'm doing this on my own. And have him be like rash, have him be irrational. And show us that, okay, that was the perfect example of show us, not tell us. That's what it was missing. That is what it was missing. It was missing show us, not tell us. We don't need you to tell us, oh, I don't know how to do this. Show us you don't know how to do this. That would have been the perfect way. Oh, whatever. Moving right along. So, this next episode, once again, was an Ion episode. Episode 17. So, this episode basically featured, it was basically an Ion / Javi episode. Ion basically is letting the fame and, the energy go to his head of, like, being loved by everybody, because apparently they didn't get that kind of treatment on RAFCON. So he's feeling like a rock star, and he's like, yeah, let me get all the love from the people. I guess for me, first of all, did they really have to do the whole, like, baby carriage, ice cream cart thing? Like, because they did this in Mighty Morphin season 2.
Yeah, exactly. This was our introduction to Rakia and Aisha.
Exactly. Like, that is what this is given. Just not as long.
Oh my God. So that scene bothered me because first and foremost, it was Jane's fault for giving an android ice cream and making her malfunction. which set off the ice cream truck that almost killed that little girl and then almost killed that couple.
Okay.
But we just want to ignore that. Okay.
We absolutely did. We absolutely ignored it. Absolutely. We're going to ignore it because I guess it's not that important.
Literally almost killed a child.
We almost killed a child, but hey, what they say, bump these children, right? But no, like, and then okay, so they have this chase scene with this ice cream truck, and then the guy is like, free ice cream forever. And Javi is like, nah, like, you know, we can, it's fine. Dude is like, nah, bump that, give me the free ice cream. Which I'm like, yes, I agree with him. I agree. Give me the free ice cream.
I agree with him, but I think it was just the way his attitude was this whole entire episode. He was very much like, gimme, gimme, gimme. And look at me, look at me, look at me.
Oh, well, yes. And I mean, partly that just goes back to him just being, you know, completely new. And he even says it like, you know, he was like, you know, we didn't get that kind of treatment on RAFCON. You know, it was just kind of like, you know, this is what it was and that's it. Which I'm like, I can understand him being overly excited. But the part that really irritated me was when he was like, oh, you know, while the others was, you know, fighting and struggling, he's over there posing for the camera, like Beyonce pose for the camera now, flick, flick, flick. Like, no, baby, we ain't got time for that. Your friends are in trouble, and you over here doing a photo shoot. Like, no. Like, I was like, are we really doing this for real? So yeah, like I was like, yeah, no, like this is very like, what are we doing? Which I was kind of like, okay, we're, you know, he's trying to understand things. So I kind of was willing to hold space for him a little bit. I was willing to give him some like hold space for him. Because I was like, I get it. Because like he's new to this in a way. I mean, he should know better. But you know, that we're further proving the point as to why he should not be leader, because obviously, you know, he's like he's doing this, right? But I guess for me, the problem in this episode is just, once again, it's like, I feel like the moral of this episode, now correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the moral of this episode, don't let fame go to your head? Is that what it was?
It was a mixture of that and I also believe it was like, don't expect anything for good deeds.
Okay, I feel like the show was trying to, if it was that, they missed the mark on one of them. Does that make sense? Because it feels like one of these morals in the show, whatever moral that they were trying to have be the overall focus, didn't get met. Like they didn't fully tell the whole entire thing, because there was something kind of lacking. It was almost kind of like the show just took, it started out being about one thing, then it took a completely different route, and then they tried to segue it back to the original point. That's what it felt like. Am I the only one who felt that way? Because it felt like it started out being about one thing, then it went to something else, then it went back to being about the original thing, but something wasn't fleshed out, something wasn't done. It just felt unresolved to me. Like there was something about this episode that just didn't feel complete. Like I don't know. I don't know.
I just felt like it was just totally filler. And
for sure.
Another situation of this would have been an interesting character trait for Ion to explore for like 2-3 episodes.
Right.
And maybe not even necessarily consecutive, like the next episode would have been this and then the next episode, like, down the line, to kind of build his character and then have a nice little lesson for him later on when he sees how dangerous acting like this can be. But once again, I think I'm expecting a little bit too much from the storytelling, unfortunately.
Well, no, I can see you thinking that because of the fact that
they give us
this.
Yeah, and that's so weird, and this is so textbook Power Rangers, because this used to happen back in the day too, where they would give us something, some good storytelling, and then for the next 5-6 episodes it's like, what the hell is this, what are we doing? And then eventually we'll get back to something, but it's just in the inconsistencies.
Yeah, and I think that, I agree. I think that that's what it is, and that's maybe what we're missing, because they're dropping all these things into the episode, and it's like we just left off on this guy being completely pissed. Like, I mean, he was like angry as all hell. Now all of a sudden he's this like gung-ho, happy-go-lucky, like, yeah, I'm ready to eat some ice cream. Like, it's like, it's almost kind of like this dude is like mad bipolar. Like, I mean, it's just like, and not trying to make fun of mental illness, but it's just like, it just, he's like, and I understand they're trying to do a whole bunch. They're trying to do a whole lot, and he came towards the end of the season. So they're like, we're trying to get this character in and do all these things. I get all of that. Like, trust Emily, I get all of that. But it's like, if we're going to do this, once again, it's just like the previous episode. Show us, not tell us. Because one of the problems I'm having with both of these episodes is the fact that you have the character actually stating and actually vocalizing the moral of the story. Oh man, you know what? Like, you're right. I shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. Oh man, you're right. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't act like this. It's like, show us. Show us, not tell us, because you're defeating the whole purpose. You're defeating the purpose. Why is it this difficult just to show us the thing? It's going to take the same amount of time. It's the same amount of time. If you literally just showed us exactly what the hell we're supposed to learn, it's literally the same amount of time as actually doing. It's the same time. Just retooling the shit and actually showing us. And I just feel like both of these episodes deserved a rewrite. I really do. I feel like both of these episodes needed a rewrite. They needed somebody to go back over them and look and be like, hey, can you look at this and make sure this episode makes sense? Because I'm sorry, the first one, I had an issue with the pacing. But this second one, it just didn't make sense altogether. To me, it didn't make sense.
Something that didn't make sense for me was the beach party.
Yes.
Well, first and foremost, like, we've seen Power Rangers get honored before and them go to it. But the dialogue here and the logic didn't make sense. So I forgot which Ranger said this, but they thought that it wasn't a good idea to go to the celebration as the Rangers, because then that would, lead to Void Knight sending, his folks down there, and there's be too many people there, because which would in turn potentially lead to injuries and blah blah blah. However, they were going to go there as well. Yeah, they were going to go there just as civilians. So just in case something happened, they be there. But then if something happens, then people could still get hurt if you morph and protect them. So what's the difference?
What
That didn't really make any
is
sense
the
to me.
difference? None of it made sense. It didn't make sense. Like, and that was the problem that I had with this episode, was that it really just didn't make sense. Like,
Yeah, in the words of Ion, what he said a little bit later, this was a hot mess.
This was a hot mess. Now, this is one thing I can't agree on.
Also, Ninja Storm did this trope better with Dustin.
They did. They most certainly did. You're right. You are exactly right. This is the same exact trope Dustin had, where it was just like, and the thing is, we brought in this character knowing that he was like this. So it made sense for him to do this, to do something like this. It made sense. But with this character, I just feel like it was just way too early. It was just like, it was a major switch from like, we just came in from old dude being like I said, just this pissed off, enraged character who was just like, you just ruined everything, to now all of a sudden he's this like bumbling, jovial, like, oh my God, I'm making all these terrible mistakes. You know, it's like something's not right. Like, I almost
feel like, well, keep that in mind. I almost feel like they should have, maybe they should have waited until either the penultimate or the finale to introduce Ion. And then they could deal with stuff in season 2. Because, like, it seems like way too late with 5 episodes left to introduce him, and then to try and establish a character and work on his character like so quickly.
Yeah. No, like I agree. I agree 100%. Like, they definitely should have done something. Like, they should have waited, or either not just because I know they had to bring in the Zords. Like, that was just something they needed to do. They had to bring in that the Mozarek Zord. Like, they had to, you know, Mozarek Zord, sorry. The Mozarek Zord. They had to bring it in, right? So it was like, I understood that they had to bring him in and they had to do this. However, it was the way that they wrote him that just didn't make sense. Like, I would not have shown this episode at this early. Well, if it were me, first of all, this episode wouldn't even exist. Not right now. It wouldn't have existed. It would have been maybe an episode in season 2, after we've gotten a good idea of who Ion really is outside of being angry.
Of course.
I would have done this episode at that point. But honestly, at the very beginning, like right now, honestly, I still would have had him kind of being a little upset with Zato. Like, this probably would have been a follow-up episode from the previous episode of, you know, us still having beef. You know what I'm saying? He's not still mad, but yeah.
And having him throw jabs at Zato.
Yeah.
That would have been good. Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah,
the jabs that like the team would not understand or get, but then it'd be like, you know, it'd be like, well, of course you would know. Oh yeah, we've heard that before. You know, like, just little jabs.
Right.
Drama.
Okay, give us drama. Give us drama. We love to see it. Like that. Yes. That is what I'm saying. That is exactly, yes. Thank you.
Especially because earlier on the season, they portrayed these Rangers as real people that have issues with each other, that don't necessarily like each other.
Exactly.
So,
but I guess they were just saving that just for Ollie, because they wanted Ollie to be the asshole.
He was being like that again in this episode, making fun of Amelia for reading a haunted magazine or something like that on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those two sitting next to each other, I keep thinking that they're going to like start hinting that they like each other, but we're 5 episodes left and they still haven't done anything.
I really hope not, because I don't really see the chemistry between the two of them like that. I see them
initially friends. I did, but now they're just not doing anything.
No, I never saw it. And I think we were just so quick to try to push shit together, okay? Like, no. Okay. I just don't see it.
Okay.
I just don't. But they better not put them together. That would be really weird. And also, I just feel like Ollie's just one of those people where he's like a lone soldier. Like he needs someone that's very similar to him, who likes tech, who likes to be right, who likes to be, I don't know, just like him essentially. I don't think anyone else can handle him.
I think that they should. I think that they. Well, they haven't given his character enough to do, like outside of being, you know, kind of an asshole, basically. Like I feel like that. Like he had the last 2 episodes were Ollie focuses, and I don't feel like they did enough with his character, like real depth wise. It was kind of surface. It wasn't enough to really get us to feel for him or to feel who he is, because I'm sure he's definitely more than that. And I feel like in the beginning of the season we were kind of seeing that, like there's something behind the bravado and the sarcasm and stuff. But you know, they've had so many fillers and they haven't had like a streamlined kind of like story for the whole season. So it's just been a bunch of filler episodes that might have a speck of something that leads to the finale, but it's just not enough for me.
Yeah, well, specifically, yes, specifically for Ollie, for sure. Like they've done that with like other characters, like I feel like with certain ones, I feel like they've fleshed them out.
Yeah, like, I feel like Ollie is probably the least developed.
The least,
because even Black Ranger, Javi, even him, you know, he doesn't always get the most focus, but I feel like he's been characterized better.
Yes.
I feel like I know who he is, and I feel like I've gotten different layers of that compared to Ollie.
Yes. Like Ollie has been one note since day one. Like we know him to be the tech guy who's an asshole. That is the only thing we know about Ollie. That's literally all we know.
Weird, because it really did feel like they were going to do more in those first few episodes, but they just stopped.
Yes, but when you really honestly think about it, though, like when they set up this character, when they were setting up Ollie, there was a period of time where literally everybody else had things to do, and Ollie was just in the background, just giving us one-liners. And that was really it. And then when he got focused episodes, they only touched on the fact that he's smart. That's it. We didn't get no kind of other backgrounds. Like even with this Halloween episode, they were like, oh, well, you know, he showed that, oh, well, you know, I kind of lied to you guys and told you that I wasn't scared of anything, but I actually do have a fear, blah, 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 that I'm afraid of losing my friends, which isn't a fear, but whatever. But, you know, even with that wasn't a layer. You know what I'm saying? Like that is literally a legit human reaction. Like I care about people and I'm afraid to lose them. Like, okay, that's wonderful. But at the same time, it's like, is that adding anything to your character? No, it doesn't. it doesn't add a damn thing to your character. Same thing with the following episode that we just did last week. The was it Surge something, whatever, I forget the name of the episode, but it was the first episode where Ion first comes in. That episode, he was literally just an asshole who gifted his headphones to try to make up for the fact that he was an asshole. Like, there's nothing to this character other than Ollie's an asshole. That's it. That's
episode title.
It. Okay. That is the title of this episode. Ollie is an asshole. Like, that's just all it is. Because I just feel like Ollie has done nothing of like real substance in this entire first season. Like, there was nothing about Ollie that made me go, oh my God, Ollie is the greatest character, or even has a character other than he's the smart guy who's an asshole.
So maybe
give me more.
Maybe for me, because I was so pleasantly surprised at how those first couple of episodes were going. Maybe I just kind of expected too much because they really didn't. Like he did still start off like this. I guess the fact that he hasn't had any development to be more than this, because it is. I think we said this last week. It's like, why would anybody even want to be friends with him when he acts like that?
Why? That's my thing. I like dead ass. Like that's literally my feeling on it. Like, I literally feel that way. Why would you want to be in a friendship with this guy? Like, we said this last week. Yeah, like we said it. Like, why would you want to be friends with him? And
it seems like his best friend is Amelia, and he's the meanest to her.
And it's like, and
they're always together.
They're always together, and you can tell that they really are trying to hint at something between them. And like, I can see what you're saying, Lena, as far as like us being kind of like shipping and stuff. I can see that, because I can see how like that can, how us as fans, as the fandom in general, we love shipping. Like, that is just something that's just, two people that have a connection, ship them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just something that the fandom does. And that's what fandoms do anyway. But I really do feel like the show is really trying to put them together at some point. Like, I really do. And even Simon Bennett was like, new relationships made for him. And I know who he's talking about. He's talking about those two, which I'm like, I don't want to see that. Because there is no, like, honestly, you have not made Ollie likable. You haven't made him likable. I can see if he was the smart ass that kind of was like, oh, he has a personality. He may be a smart ass, but he's a smart ass with a cute, adorable personality that makes you like him. Like, I could see if that was the case, but he doesn't play it that way. Like, he is just a staunch, rude asshole. That's just what it is. Like, he is just a rude asshole. And I'm like, I just don't see how anybody would want to be his friend, would want to date him, would don't even want to be around him.
Right?
Like, y'all got to make him a little bit more likable for me to accept this ship. Right? You got to make him more likable.
And I think the only reason why Amelia is around him is because, like, she's the only one that can tolerate him.
Yeah. Which is sad.
Right?
That's the sad
part. She's taking the brunt of his abuse.
Okay. She is literally taking the brunt of his abuse. And this is the person that you settle on? This is the person that you like? Girl, no. Do better for yourself. Do better.
My God. Is this like... I just realized how abusive and toxic this relationship would be if they ever got together.
Oh, yes.
I'm assuming by the time, like, if that did happen, he'll have some character growth.
I would hope so. I would hope so. Because I can't see them having him tease her when they're not even tease. Dating. This is just rude now. Well, like, he's rude to her. Bullying. Yeah, like, he's bullying her. Like, it's just like every 5 minutes he's saying something. Like, he is literally like Bulk and Skull to like Kimberly and Trini right now. Like, that is the nature of their relationship. Like, he is consistently bullying her. And it's just like, come on now. This isn't like flirty teasing. Like, that's not it. That's not it. Like, you don't actively try to hurt people's feelings. And that's what he does. Like, it's literally, he's constantly putting her down. And it's like, this is the guy who she's supposed to end up liking. If that happens, I don't believe that. You know, I mean, this is, I was going to say this is as bad as Calvin and Haley, but this is worse. If they put them two together, that's worse. Because at least Calvin
likes her.
At least Calvin was just, he liked her and he was just a terrible boyfriend. This guy, he was like abusive.
He was sort of pleasant to her. He just
right. Like, he was a piece of shit and he forgot shit all the time and lied to her.
Right.
Like it was nobody's business. But
but he was pleasant. He wasn't
at least
rude.
He was pleasant. He wasn't rude.
Like, this guy,
come on.
He tried to literally pick at Amelia every given second.
Every second he can. It's like come on, dude.
The girl's reading a book. Let her fucking read. You already know that's what she likes. Why can't you just accept the fact that that is what she likes? She accepts you for who
that's
you are.
That's her thing. Yeah. And what lesson are you teaching, since you want to start being heavy-handed on the lessons now? What lesson are you teaching with this relationship?
Good question.
Because that
is a very good question.
She's not calling him out on it, and she's just taking it.
She's just taking abuse. It's like, okay, so like you said, exactly. What lessons are we teaching the kids? Like, because that's what we're obviously doing, right? So what are we teaching? What are we doing? What are we doing? Because I'm sorry, but like I said, somebody needs to go ahead and call him out. Just point blank, period. We need somebody just to be just brutally honest, call him out and be like, dude, you're an asshole. Straight up. Like, you are an asshole, and why are you acting like this? And then we need to get him being like, you know what, you're right. I am an asshole, and I'm sorry. To everybody that I offended, I am really sorry. And then we're like, yes, thank you. Thank you. But other than that, no. Like, I just don't. I'm not here for him. I'm not here for that character at all. But I just feel like in terms of just storytelling I think we can all agree, storytelling for poor Ion, he's been mishandled thus far. That baby, he deserves better. Because I like Jordan. I really do. I love him. Like, there were so many cute moments from just the actor alone. Like, when he was so excited at Buzz Blast and he was like, I'm going to a human party. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that was cute. Like, you can tell he is the most adorable. He is so adorable. And it's like, this is what we do.
Right? No, especially when he's not like saying it in such a way that he feels entitled towards it, you know?
Right. Like, Jordan is such a good character. And he like a good actor, and just his take on the character Ion is really good. I really like what he's doing. I really love what he's bringing. But it's just like the way they are writing him is tragic. It's like, why are you doing this to this poor boy? Like, it's sad. I'm like, come on. For him being the first ever Black Gold Ranger and the first ever Sixth Ranger that we've ever gotten that is African American, like, this is not the way to handle it. Like, he's being mishandled badly. Like, badly.
I literally said this to Lena before we started recording. You would think that because this is a big deal to have him, and you're not really doing the best, right?
You're not doing the best. Damn, it hurts my feelings in a way. It's like, come on, y'all. And damn, I'm hurt. But yeah, like, I'm hoping that for real, we do get some better stuff with him. Like, I really do. Even though this episode, well, yeah. But I mean, just in general, I do want to get better. And also, too, this episode did have a good moment in there that we didn't touch on, that I want to bring up before you rate. I'm sorry, but I hope the Gold Ranger is cute. That guy.
Right? I was like, when I noticed that, I was like, oh wow, they're really accepting all the queers
Who
now.
said that?
Some random
You
guy
didn't hear the guy
in the background. He was like, I hope the Gold
No.
I was like, yes, I
At the party?
Yeah.
I did not hear that. Wow.
I was like, please. Because obviously, you know how we talked about how Izzy's the first lesbian of, ever of Power Rangers, and to have like a random guy say that, I hope the Gold Ranger is cute. I was like, yes.
That's dope. Wow.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I hollered. I was like, yes.
I'm like, ooh. Yes.
I mean, he's quite easy on the eyes. Just saying.
I mean, yes. I mean, I agree. Like, he's like, I hope the Gold Ranger is cute. Baby, he is.
Right?
Is.
We want
he
to
actually
show you
is.
this. We met him. He's quite gorgeous.
He is quite gorgeous. Yes. He's
he's probably right next to you. But
exactly. Listen, I just want the people, if Ion is a little piece of fluid, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, because I'm pretty sure, like, they're aliens. They're aliens from a whole nother planet. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't deal with, like, like gender norms and all that bullshit we do on Earth or whatever. It wouldn't surprise me if Ion is like, like, if I think you cute, you can get it. Like, I mean, like, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if Zeta was like that. If he was like, if you cute, or if I like you, let's get it. Like, what's good?
So, something I was thinking, from a little later on in that scene when the party is attacked, was why are these Rangers keeping their identity secret? Like, they wanted to go and hide so they could morph. They couldn't do it in front of everyone. But does everyone even know who you are? And why are you keeping? But like, why would you? I don't understand why they're keeping it a secret this time around.
Well, I mean, I actually like that they do. I like that they do. I actually do.
I'm sick of that. I'm kind of sick of that trope in like all of these, like the superhero genre, just in general. Because sometimes I understand it, but then there's other times where it doesn't really matter.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like the trope matters when there is a reason for them to have their identity secret, when there's an urgency to it. Mm-hmm. When there's like, okay, we're dealing with dangerous aliens that we know for a fact, if they find out who we are, like, legit, they are going to go after our families. So it makes sense for them to keep their identities a secret or whatever have you, which in that way, it would make sense for them to keep their identity a secret from the villains too. But that's neither here or there. My thing is, I understand it when in case of, like, if you give us a reason to have their identities be a secret, like how, for example, Mighty Morphin, that was a part of the rule of being a Power Ranger, based on with Zordon. If you tell anybody your identity, you will lose the protection of the power. Like, straight off the cuff, like, straight no chaser. You tell anybody you ain't a Power Ranger no more, period. Like, it is what it is. Like, you cannot tell nobody who you are. Okay, I understand that. But I do understand what you're saying in terms of, like, okay, we don't have this rule anymore, but we're still having this being a secret. But why? Why is it a secret? It's missing the why.
And like you said, well, in particular for Mighty Morphin, Rita and Zed knew, and all their goons knew who the Rangers were. They already knew their secret identities. In this case, I don't believe that that's the case here. I don't think that Void Knight knows, or does he? Actually, don't remember.
Yeah, Void Knight. I believe Void Knight does know who they are, but I don't think he knows personally. Like, I don't think he knows like their families. Like, like he just knows their faces. Like, he knows who they are, like face wise, but he don't know anything about who they hang with, like what their interests are, who they be with. You know what I'm saying? Like he, like he doesn't know that kind of stuff. Like he's not that versed in their lives, but he does know who they are. So it makes sense. It does kind of make sense for them not to tell people, because also too, it's like they're literal servants of the city, where it's almost kind of like they have a whole hotline where it's like, if people, it would kind of make sense that if people were to like, find out who they were, it would literally just be complete madness. If you think about it, it does have the potential of it being madness, where it's like calling and being like, "Hey, let me talk to Izzy. Hey, Javi. Hey, Javi, I want to talk to you." You know what I'm saying? Like,
or people following them around and stuff.
Yeah, going to Buzz Blast, hiding out in the bushes, being like, "Ooh," stuff like that. So I can see it. I can understand. But yeah, it does make sense. And the thing is with certain seasons too, I will say they didn't give us a reason for us to be like, okay, there's no urgency here, so why are we protecting their secret? Like, you're not giving us a reason to actually
Lost
care.
Galaxy.
That's a great one. Like, Lost Galaxy didn't have a reason. There was no reason for that. It was just kind of like, okay. Like, everybody, like, we're in space. We're in a whole freaking galaxy, like a whole nother galaxy. Like, there's no reason for this. Just tell everybody who you are. And then that'll save you from, like having to pretend that Mike was just randomly going somewhere and just randomly popped up and he just missed like a whole bunch of shifts. Mike should have been fired. But anyway, and then Kendrick's disappeared. You ain't asked her nothing. It's just like, come on now. Like, if you just went ahead and say that they're Rangers, it would make sense. But whatever. Like, that's a whole nother thing. Let's rate these episodes. So I'll go first. I'm going to give the first episode, I'm going to give it a 2. And the third one, the gay stuff saved it for me, but it didn't save by much. I'm going to give it a 3. But yeah, like 2-3. That's me.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. It was 3 also. Definitely that gay comment did it for me.
It didn't. Like, it was just funny. I'm sorry. That's why I was like, there were funny things in this episode. I mean, it wasn't a great episode, but it was still funny. I had to give it to him. I was like, the gay stuff saved it. So,
I would say the first episode's a 2 and the second's a 2.
That's real.
And I feel like I'm being kind of generous on the second one.
You being what? Generous?
I feel like I'm being kind of generous on the second one. Because I'm trying to think. Scratch that. It's getting a 1.
Oh?
Yeah.
Not a 1?
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, did I actually like anything about this episode? No.
Dang. So you said that's the first one or the second one?
Yeah, number 16's getting a 2, and then number 17 or episode 17 is getting a 1. Because I didn't even like anything about the damn episode. So,
well, damn. All right.
Is this the first one we've done?
Yeah. I believe this would be the first one for you, because there was no other ones that were like a 1 for that.
This was not a good one.
Well, okay, all right, that's interesting. So we got our first ever 1 from Dino Fury, but that's interesting that they waited till this far down the line, which that does kind of Well, I'm not gonna say that's on track because I would probably say with Beast Morphers, they had some ones way before now. So I mean, so far the show has been consistent. Like it really has been consistent. Because even at their lowest point, which was like, I remember going back to like, what was that? Mixed Scary Mansion. Like that episode to me was terrible. Like I did not like that episode, not one bit. And I didn't even give it a 1. So, like, but no, this episode, this one right here, it was funny, but I think without the gay stuff and also without that funny part with Zato being like, oh no, he's not that crazy. He's not gonna call the Zord. And then he calls the Zord and he's like, he just did it. Funny. That was funny. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
That surprised me because that was like dumb.
When the show was funny, it was funny. And I feel like that was just on the backs of the actors, honestly. It was literally the backs of the actors. But yeah, that was the only reason why I gave it a 3. Other than that, it would have been a 2 too.
Get it together, Dino Fury.
Wow. Okay. Well, like it's only been 2 episodes. That's not great.
I mean, but like something that I've said like this whole time is I really want some sort of a season-long arc where we got 5 episodes left. And there's, we'll see.
No, I agree. I am waiting for it to be a little more like where's the story? Where's this going? Like, like why are we here? Like, other than just trying to catch the sporks, like, I need a little more. Like, why are we here? Kind of, So yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm with you. I'm with you, Will. I get you. And also too, if you want us to like Ollie, make him likable. Yeah. That's where I'll end it at for me. If you want us to like this character, make him likable. Because as of right now, he is terrible. Like, I'm like, he is the worst one of the bunch. Like, literally the worst. And I know Kai is doing his best. I know he's doing his best.
He's doing he's definitely making us not like him. He's doing a great job at acting that out. It's just a shame that's all that he's being given.
Exactly. And my biggest fear, he deserves better. And my biggest fear is that they are going to wait too long to actually start making him a likable character. To the point where they waited too long and we don't care anymore. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest fear. They're going to procrastinate and continue making him be terrible. And then all of a sudden randomly be like, all right, he's a good person now. And it's like, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care about this character. Like, he's freaking horrible. Like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. And that'll suck. Because it's like, why did y'all wait so long, Dino Fury? Like, why did you wait? So hopefully they do make him a little bit better and don't, belabor it and just keep making him be a terrible person. And then all of a sudden, a couple episodes before they throw him together with Amelia, be like, see, he actually is great. No, do not do that. So
and then has no fear. More, and then he'd have no more character development after that.
Exactly.
Still standing next to Amelia all the time, but only difference is they're holding hands now.
They're holding hands. Like, no. And please also don't give us a Megaforce. Don't you Megaforce us. Don't you Megaforce us. Don't you have him being a jerk to her all season and then want to give her a kiss on the cheek on the finale. Don't you do this, Dino Fury. Because I promise you, Simon, Ukina, don't do this. Like, don't do this now. We trust in you. We trust in you with Dino Fury. You said that you was gonna. You said that we were gonna like this show. No, make us like it. That's all I'm gonna say. But anywho, if y'all enjoyed the show, please let us know. And once again, my name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
And I'm Will.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.